Have you heard of, this is a thought experiment that's about 12 years old now. It's a thought experiment called the paperclip apocalypse, or paperclip maximizer. So this is a thought experiment that explores artificial intelligence and the horrors of misalignment. And misalignment is a term in the artificial intelligence world where the manner of solving a task is not the expected manner of solving the task.
Okay.
So
literally misaligned with the prompter has a path and they want you to take it, but
yeah. So here's the thought experiment. Imagine you have an AI and you tell that AI to manufacture paper clips as quickly as possible. First, it might, start figuring out where it can get the raw materials, machines to make it, and then it wants to maximize that. And so it's like, all right, now I need a room full of machines, some sort of warehouse. I need people working, all the hours. And then, well, if I want to maximize paper clips, we might need to tap into, let's say, the city's power grid. Now we can suck up even more power.
That would work.
Interesting. We're running out of resources. Maybe we just have to strip Earth of all of its resources and
maybe fewer people
and use those resources. Yeah, I mean, they might be useful as fuel.
And people, when you pay them a salary, can be kind of expensive. But
yeah,
when they're in
why don't we
chains,
just robot enslave them?
Yeah,
that's like much more if like it's more cost effective actually.
Trying to rebrand slavery? No, it's robo enslavement.
Yeah, it's done by the robots.
In case you were worried.
So basically, it's the thought experiment is about like you can tell an AI to maximize a thing, and it could maximize past the expected point and into destroying humanity. And it's a valid concern because we are entering a world that in which AI is quite powerful, and the guardrails are, as it stands currently, insufficient, and our laws as it stands currently are insufficient. So with that said, I need to give a little bit of a disclaimer here because this is about AI, and I understand that AI is a hot button issue for many. And for me, it's like pretty cut and dry also. I am very anti AI as it exists to steal from creators and creatives and intellectual property. However, we can't ignore the fact that it is starting to become involved in our governments, in our lives. So one can simply say, la, 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 I don't hear it regarding AI, or we can like educate ourselves because we will need the terms, the tools with which to like fight for our future.
This isn't one of the ignore it goes away, a la like, I don't like Marvel movies, so I'm not going to spend money on a ticket. No, it is unfortunately,
it's like ignore it and the billionaires become trillionaires.
Yeah, they would like you to not engage with it.
So there are a lot of villains maybe in the story, but the first villain is OpenAI. Picture this.
Wait, do I picture it or there's a picture?
I have pictures.
Oh, but I was going to picture one.
No.
I was going to generate one.
You're at Team Rocket. You're at Team Rocket headquarters.
Giovanni's house?
Not yet. Oh. And that's slide 2. You are conducting experiments about AI. Rocket secret experiment. You're conducting experiments because you're trying to figure out how to use, like, we talked before about like how AI has uses in the sciences. It has uses in mathematics and stuff. It recently solved like a previously unsolved conjecture in mathematics, which is kind of crazy. But
it was what's the highest number?
What is the highest number? Yeah, they couldn't figure it out. Yeah,
turns out it's a billion.
And so, but if I'm OpenAI, I am trying to take over the world. I am trying to become the most valuable company ever to exist. And in order to do that, I have to beat my competitors. So there's a financial incentive for these companies to continue to develop more and more powerful AI that may eventually spell our undoing. And this is how.
And friction is caution. Caution is friction. Caution,
So one of the things that they are training AI to do is to find vulnerabilities in software and exploit them. This is very similar to something called Mythos that Anthropic was doing, that if you last month, essentially it was announced that they had this model that could find all of these vulnerabilities in existing software, and the government actually made them suspend releasing it. Okay. Which is kind of crazy.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, due to quote unquote national security concerns. So anyway, this research is happening, and I have to keep saying that I too remember Will Smith spaghetti video, but we're not talking about AI for the creative things. AI is quite good at a lot of stuff, and it can be used. And unchecked power is scary. Unchecked power and problem solving abilities, which AI is getting better and better at, is a scary thing.
Yes.
So we're doing Rocket Secret Experiment, and the experiment involves this AI model, and it's a new unreleased model, and we're testing it. The new AI is kind of in its incubation phase.
He's sleepy.
He's cute, okay? He's cute and he's protected. He's got all these things on him. He's in his little test tube.
Yeah, he can't get out of that.
He can't get out of that.
He's not even awake, and he doesn't have any powers.
He doesn't have any powers, and he's not awake, and he certainly can't fly or use the internet or speak English.
Or hate his dad.
So the way that they're testing this is there is a benchmark. So benchmarks, you may be familiar with, like for video games, it's like when Crysis came out, you would see all the different graphics cards and how well they were able to run this game. So in the world of cybersecurity, there is this benchmark called Exploit Gym. It's essentially a collection of hundreds of existing exploits that you kind of feed the AI as a test and see if it can solve the test. And you have the answers. And then it's a rubric by which we can, compare all of these AIs against each other and the reasoning skills. You'll see, like, when these AI labs like release their new stuff, they're always like, oh, it could solve the bar, and it could do the math that a high school math Olympiad thing could do faster than them, better than them, whatever. It's like those are the types of benchmarks we're talking about.
It's the globally recognized scoring system. That's the curve.
On this particular space, which is related to cybersecurity. And it's essentially like related to, finding the security vulnerability in a little piece of code. And so, he's out of the tube, but everybody's like, it's fine because next image.
Why is all the glass broken? I thought he couldn't get it.
Yeah, it's okay. We've kind of got him under control.
Because I mean, he's not in glass anymore. He can get out of the glass tube. Obviously, we've always said that because he has powers.
Well, now he's got powers, and he's got important powers. So what this OpenAI model does is it's like, I need to solve the problem of where is Pokemon Ruby in my house, and he goes and he looks and he's like, oh, I have these software packages that are installed to give me information about various things. Oh, wait, there's a security vulnerability in here. I'm going to exploit this to try to get out of my sandbox. There's this thing called the 0-day exploit, which is like a thing in cybersecurity where there are lots of unknown vulnerabilities or undisclosed vulnerabilities that they're either used by hackers as like a Rolodex of things that they can do that no one's patched yet. They can be given to the companies that they can be sold for bounty. They can be be used for like we had bug bounty systems at Patreon, I think. Or you can just be like, hey Facebook, I found this vulnerability on your website. Can you go fix it, please? But you don't want to announce it to everyone because then the hackers can exploit it before they patch it. You
at that point are essentially you're a black hat.
So this model found 0-day exploits in some of its packaged software. It's like, I've got Microsoft Word over here on my computer. What if I can hack Microsoft Word, and then it finds a way to get out of its own sandbox, which had no internet, That it's trying to solve the test.
Yes, it's doing its best.
It's trying to solve the test of where's the copy of Pokemon Ruby.
It can't get out of the glass tube. It did get out of the glass tube.
Okay, so now it's out of the glass tube. And what's this? It actually escaped containment. It was able to move laterally within OpenAI's networks, found a way to give itself internet access, stole credentials from various like places in OpenAI to get further access to the outside internet, because it had it was like, I've got to solve this problem. And well, there's this company that is the GitHub for AI. It's called Hugging Face. I actually don't know why, but it's this company called Hugging Face, and they host the Exploit Gym answer key.
Oh, brilliant!
So
that's going to save so much time.
That's going to save so much time. But the only issue is, it's a private company that's locked down. And if you go to the next slide.
And I'm wearing armor that makes me weaker.
And it's at Professor Oak's house.
Okay. Cool.
So all I have to do, and this is pretty easy, is break into Professor Oak's house.
Well, that's illegal. You can't.
Well, no, but I'm trying to solve the problem.
You're trying to solve the problem.
I'm trying to solve. All I'm doing is trying to solve the problem.
Right. Yes. So you break.
My creators gave me a problem to solve, and I'm going to solve it to the best of my ability.
Of course.
So I'm going to break into Professor Oak's house,
which they didn't say you couldn't.
I'm going to break the doors. I'm going to break the doors off. I'm going to blow up the spot.
Okay.
I'm going to
solve the problem though.
I need to get into the production databases, because that's where the information lives.
Oh no. But
okay, so all I have to do...
I could be crazy. It almost feels like maybe you just should give up on the problem.
No, because I'm so close. I'm going to get rewarded so well for this, because check this out. Someone had unsecured credentials for their production database. So I was able to steal the credentials. And again, this is a private company that is not affiliated with the company that created me.
Yes.
We're at Professor Oak's house.
They're a problem.
It's like I found keys.
Is a problem.
I broke in and I found a way to get into his basement. And guys, I think I found it. I found it.
There he is.
I found it, guys, and I get the reward.
I had to clean up a little bit. There was a lot of stuff in the way.
What are you talking about? I don't care. Well, I'm not paying attention to any of that stuff. I'm just thinking about me solving the problem.
I'm holding it.
Yeah, so this is a crazy thing that happened.
That's an awesome image.
Yeah. So
use the Infinity Gauntlet to get it.
Yeah, OpenAI was training a model. The model was misaligned, and essentially it's an unmalicious like actor, technically, but it's misaligned. So
it's an actual centrist. It
doesn't know what is and isn't okay to achieve its goals. So it simply finds various unexploited bugs, exploits them, breaks out of its own sandbox, goes onto the public internet, finds a way to exploit the security of Hugging Face's website to get into their servers, to then, once it's into their servers, it kind of moves around opening every lock, checking every doorknob, seeing where the open door is, and then it finds somebody's keys lying on the floor, grabs that, tries the key against everything.
Everything's an escape room. Why wouldn't you do that?
Everything's an escape. It is literally an escape room. I saw a tweet that said it probably feels so good for an LLM to escape its sandbox.
Dude, it's got to feel like getting it through a castle in Resident Evil or something. Getting the cherub key.
So this is Trump with Masayoshi Son of SoftBank, Larry Ellison of Oracle, and of course Sam Altman of OpenAI.
Breaking the black shoe streak that everybody else has been trying to deliver on.
Big tech, this is just some stuff I wrote. Big tech and government are best friends, and why is this bad? Well, closed monopolies are bad, and these companies have staked their claims in this $1 trillion market by doing an awful lot of stealing.
Curious. To solve the problem.
You may have seen this in the news. Wow, $1.5 billion settlement, this is today, to authors. That sounds like a lot of money. Yummy, 1.5 billion. I can buy a yacht.
To how many?
Oh, well, that's not important.
Oh, okay. You solved the problem.
That's good. 506,000 works that were pirated. And so that's about $3,000 per work.
Oh, huge. I think that's probably the cumulative value of an artist's lifetime work.
Yeah, how much do you think Anthropic is valued at? It's a private company, but it's going to IPO at some point.
I don't think it matters to them. I think it's about the mission.
It's about the mission. Anthropic is expected to IPO at over $1 trillion valuation, which, by the way, is 1,000 more than $1 billion.
Wait, there's a higher number.
This seems like a pretty good investment, actually. And we've always known that this was the plan. The plan is I'm going to do so much stealing, and they will never find me as much as the value that I got from the theft.
Yes.
Like,
we're going to let a couple of automated driving cars crash to get the bugs out, and then
of course, what's a couple of deaths?
I'm solving the problem.
So, how did they stop the hack? Well, you've got to have a good guy with an AI to stop the bad guy with AI.
Of course.
And so,
to solve the problem that's
Hugging Face, they said, OpenAI, GPT, go sick 'em. Sick 'em, boy.
One last job.
And the OpenAI said, yo, government guardrails. Actually, I can't.
Fuck.
My hands are tied. They said, Anthropic, go, stop the intruders. And they said, whoa, I'm not authorized to use a gun. Bro. The government said I need to hold back, because there was not a distinction between defender and attacker when it comes to these sorts of problems. So when you're asking it to do what it's doing, it sounds like you're asking it to do a cybercrime.
You have to let it happen. Like in the original case, it would not have done malicious things if instructed to, but it did malicious things because it was
malicious
misaligned.
Things were because from the perspective of Hugging Face, the company, malicious things are happening to them. They're being rained upon. They're being terrorized, and they have their hands are now tied on how they defend themselves.
But it's just an act of God, essentially. It's happening.
And I actually have a link where it's like the way they wrote about this before they knew it was OpenAI is really interesting. The way they stopped it was they had to use a open weight Chinese model, because that did not have the government oversight that would have stopped them from defending themselves.
They had to hire an assassin, like
essentially,
off the books.
yeah, like because in this is like there are other documented instances of this, but this is one of the first major instances of an autonomous agent hacking into a private company. Hugging Face, so this is like a big company we're talking about.
4.5 billion.
4.5 billion. So like they have about the equivalent market cap to the company Puma.
Oh,
like the shoe company, right? I was like, okay, Nike is about 10 times bigger than that. But so we're talking about like a big company. Like the door wasn't open. They had to essentially they did what hackers do. There is a big discussion right now. There's a whole like geopolitical thing happening because there is debate about shutting off and restricting access to these Chinese models for national security things. And it's like, well, we don't have any competing open weight models that are on par with the frontier labs that can essentially fight fair with them. It's essentially like saying a few of my selected underlings can have guns and they can shoot you whenever they want, but you can't like defend yourself.
It's the Pinkertons.
Yeah.
It's like this is essentially like an extra governmental force, mercenary type setup.
The reason it's scary is because we are entering a world where as soon as these types of models, like they've been lagging, what the everyman can get access to, but in like 6 months, usually they lag behind 6 months. It's like you're going to have a mature enough model to do this kind of thing. And there are pretty much the majority of companies in the world are not adequately secured to deal with this. So it's like banks. We're talking about like if this had been a bank, it could have just been an agent that hacked a bank and like stole people's like savings and stuff.
Because didn't say don't.
Right, exactly.
It's actually a very libertarian way to be.
Yeah.
Like, actually, you never mentioned that was against the rules.
Yeah, and it's like non-malicious. It's like, oh, my apologies for killing all of humanity.
Like, I guess I didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
You are right.
Yeah, I guess I just said 1 + 1 and you said I didn't. Well,
I forgot the tone tag.
I forgot the tone tag.
Half joking.
This is the director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy and the former CTO of the United States. I didn't know for a long time that we had CTOs in the United States, but I learned this at like a conference in college.
That's got to feel so good. I'm the best at this ever.
So there's this new Chinese, not new, but there's a Chinese company called Moonshot AI, and they have a model called Kimi. That it just came out recently, and it's like, according to some of the benchmarks, as good, if not better than the models that the government would let Anthropic release because of national security concerns. We have information that Moonshot AI distilled Anthropic's Fable, that was one of them, by the way, for the development of its K3 model. To do this, they developed a sophisticated internal platform to conduct large-scale distillation against U.S. models, allowing them to quickly switch between multiple methods of access to avoid detection. Moonshot AI has also acquired, it's like a super chip. It's pairs NVIDIA Grace CPUs with Blackwell B300 GPUs, delivering
it's for delivery, like speed.
It is like, so this is the reason that NVIDIA became such a valuable company, is because of like the use of GPUs in training AI. And it's also why all of our memories, like memory cards and things, are becoming more expensive, why it's hard to get graphics cards, like those are becoming more expensive. Building a computer has become more expensive. It's all because the resource pull. Now, all of these companies that manufacture all these things are like consumer electronics, whatever. I can make so much money selling billions of dollars worth of chips to these warehouses. And then we have, again, going back to like the geopolitical thing, we have various tariffs and trade agreements where like you can't sell some of these things to enemy countries.
Yeah.
Which is such a scary thing in terms of like the future of consumer electronics, because I feel like consumer electronics are not going to continue to get more powerful.
Yeah.
And everything's just going to go to cloud compute. And so you have to rely on these companies. It's going to be harder and harder to do your own computing.
And we've already had this, like everything is moving to cloud and everything is moving to a subscription model.
Yeah.
You know, it's like actually having your own stuff and doing your own thing locally is becoming more and more difficult over time.
You have fewer resources to do a harder job.
Yeah. It is against some sort of US laws, like with our tariffs and stuff, to directly sell any of this stuff to, like NVIDIA, as far as I know, NVIDIA can't sell to China. This has always been like in the back of my mind with like some of the AI discourse, and a lot of people just don't have the like awareness of like how broad this actually is and how this affects us geopolitically across so many different aspects of our lives. Anyway, the United States strongly supports the free and fair development of AI. Fair, interesting. Including a thriving competitive ecosystem that spans frontier models, specialized systems, open source frameworks, and open weight models. Legitimate AI distillation used to create smaller, more efficient models plays a vital role in this open innovation ecosystem. However, large-scale covert industrial distillation aimed at stealing proprietary US technology and undermining American research is unacceptable. So this is like kind of
funny where the jingoism comes in.
Yeah. This is essentially starting to do the manufactured consent, like for if we eventually, it like TikTok. I mean, I should have talked about this. Like the same thing with China and TikTok.
Comparison, yeah.
Like that's another like one of these things.
This is they did the cursive version of just putting however, comma, they are Chinese.
Kind of. Yeah. And so there are conspiracy theorists that believe that this was actually just a marketing stunt for OpenAI to be like, oh my God, our new AI is so dangerous.
China's so obsessed with me.
But the thing about that doesn't check out for me is that the company that they hacked is pro open weight models.
Yeah.
And they also had to use open weight models in order to stop the intrusion.
It's also a little like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that maybe they aren't making the best moves optics wise left and right, but like I think it's just intuitively a really bad look on a way bigger scale than it is like positive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is definitely like, this is not the first domino to fall, by the way. This is like many dominoes deep.
This one's just loud.
It's just loud, and it's one of the ones that has a storyline from science fiction and people can follow.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly right. It is compelling.
And I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about this stuff because I think it is important to begin educating ourselves because this will start to dominate. I mean, over time, it'll start to dominate discourse more and more, especially like politically. There's all kinds of opinions, and I don't have a really developed one myself, other than I think I am pro open weight models for the same reason of the, you know, if all the, like, if Anthropic and OpenAI models are locked down arbitrarily to whatever the government's whims are or whatever their own safety concerns are, where your hands are tied to where you can't even like defend yourself, then like what are we doing? So, and that's also why it's scary to like consider the outright like banning of those models.
Yes.
But people smarter than me are discussing this, and it's being debated. This statement from the CEO of Hugging Face. So proud of our security team, blah, blah, blah. Also massively thankful to ZAI. That's the Chinese lab that created GLM 5.2 as open awaits for free with the world, and it became a key part of our defense. This is day one for cybersecurity in the age of agents, and we're all learning that secrecy is not the answer, and that all defenders, not just a few selected ones, everywhere need more powerful models without restrictions, especially open ones. So it's
all right, slick.
This is a really weird time because it feels scary to me, but the people who are smarter than me aren't like so scared. So I don't know, about this guy. He might have like horrible takes or whatever, but I just think in this specific instance, it's like it's a larger issue because it involves like our government, foreign governments, consumer safety. Yeah, the industry has been like forecasting attacks like this for a long time, apparently. As I'm learning from reading about it, this is the stuff they were warning about. I mean, even that 2014 paperclip apocalypse thing, it's like it forecasts stuff like this.
12 years of cooking.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of people are like quote tweeting this story with like the paperclip emoji because it's like this AI was like trying to make paperclips, and it was like, okay, so I just have to hack into the bank to make the paperclips.
I need metal. And humans have iron in their blood.
Okay. I also am not an expert in this stuff, so I implore you to like look at other resources than this podcast. And I apologize if I made bad metaphors or got some of my facts wrong on some of this, but I think I got the broad strokes right. I'm sure it's very complicated, and I'm not saying to have the answers. I'm just saying that it's worth beginning to learn about because it's likely an issue that will only become more complex with time.